Welcome back, Mech Warriors. I'm Luscious Balzac from FJRD, bringing you some more Tournament of the Stars Season 3. Right now, we have a matchup between FJRD Declassified and Raptor Talons in Division D as in Delta. Should be a very good match. I enjoy watching both of these teams play. Big fan of FJRD. Who would have guessed? Me, Luscious Balzac from FJRD. Biased? Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, Tournament of Stars is a 5v5 tournament. Clan only tech. Game mode is Conquest. Some special rules to note. The first drop is split up into 3 smaller drops, a 1v1 followed by 2 2v2s. The 1v1 is with trial mechs. This week's trial mech is the Night Jeer. So that's going to be 2 ER large and 2 Goss, I believe. Something like that. Anyways, the 5v5 drops for this week are going to take place on Hellbore and Caustic Valley. But, we'll see those maps in the future. Might get a co-caster sometime through this stream. Who knows? Maybe someone will show up. And if they do, well, I'm not going to spoil who they are. So, you'll just have to watch and find out. Legendary mechs are allowed in this tournament. You can only drop a legendary mech once throughout the five drops. Legendary mechs cannot be used in the 1v1s or 2v2s. And you can only use legendaries that can be purchased through the in-game store. If a mech is using a legendary omnipod such as a Viper with the scale shot omnipods, that's still using just a single omnipod is considered using a legendary mech, so don't burn your legendaries. I think that about covers it, so let's get to the match. Now, both of these teams are listed as North American teams, so that's going to make my life easier. That's one less thing to worry about, server swapping. So, I'm pretty happy about that. Another thing to note is that the teams are going to be swapped between each and every drop, so look forward to watching a lot of side swapping happening. Both players making their entrance now. Fighting for FJRD Declassified, we have Archon Ent. And over here for Raptor Talons, we have Crazy Motorbiker. Now, let's take a look at that build. Yep, 2 Goss, 2 ER large. Now, these mechs do have ECM, but no stealth armor. It looks like Archon Ent's gonna get the first shot off. Majority of the laser burns going into that right torso of Crazy Motorbiker. Archon Ent at 91%, Crazy at 88%. Now, unlike the match we saw earlier, these players are playing how I expected, this 1v1 to play out. Fighting from the platforms at long range. Whereas earlier today, we saw FJRD, Hyperion Rocket Raiders, and Delta Galaxy deciding to just straight up brawl with these mechs. Crazy Motorbiker now going for the side peek. Doesn't see Archon Ent. Archon Ent already out in the open, just waiting. Looks like he's behind the pillar now. Switching pillars, changing position. Does Crazy Motorbiker know that he switched positions? Oh, there we go. There's the shot off. Crazy Motorbiker getting that center torso. Almost opened up. You know, orange armor. Still got a little bit of armor left. Oop, sorry. PC notifications. Yay. Yeah, and enjoy those PC notification sounds. Arconent at 71%. Crazy Motorbiker 59. Looks like Crazy Motorbiker has his left torso open and CT. He has taken some structure damage in the CT. It's looking a little orange. Right torso gets opened up. All torsos now roughly the same percentage. All looking orange. And that's
good job, soldiers.
That's a shot through the CT. Good job, Arconent. Great win. Ooh, Arconent with the head open. And let me update the scorecard for everybody. That's going to be an FJRD declassified win. Arconent dropping a nice 420 damage. Nice. So yeah, that's it for the 1v1. Let's get off into the 2v2s. First off, let's switch sides, switch the map. I believe we're going over to Mech Factory. Let me actually do something else. Oh, I realize I did not transition into the match view, so sorry for the small screen on the stream. Swap sides. So sides have been swapped. Map has been swapped. And I don't know why Arconent left without... Maybe he invited the next player and they haven't accepted yet? I don't know. Let me invite Iron Wolf back to the lobby. So it looks like Raptor Talon's going to be fielding Lunar Storm 1 and Saint Dane Ikaza. Now, if I remember correctly, this drop is medium and assault. And both teams are locked. So let's get to the match. Alrighty, Mech Factory. I actually really enjoy Mech Factory. You know, it's got a lot of different platforms. I wish that there was a higher platform here in the center. You know, just make a ramp from here up, stretching across both sides. You know, just a third level essentially to mess around on in the center. Would also give light mechs, little jump jetty mechs, another platform to ascend to try and get around the any mech that's trying to chase them. Over here on Team 1 side, that's the blue team. That's pings do be pinging. Yes, that's Raptor Talons. We got Lunar Storm in a Vapor Eagle 2, rocking 4 AC5s, and Saint Dane Ikaza in a Stone Rhino 1 with 2 large pulse, 4 AC10.
This is command.
That's
Eliminate
gonna hurt.
all enemies, no matter the cost.
We got Iron Wolfpack in a Vapor Eagle 2 with 4 Proto AC8 and a Plasma Cannon. Uguay T in a Stone Rhino 4 with 2 AC20 and 4 Proto AC8. So, I don't know about you guys, but this is the first time that I'm really seeing Proto ACs used for ToS. So, this will be interesting. And it looks like FJRD throwing up a UAV. Shots off on Lunar Storm. You know what? Let's pull up those team sides so that way you can see percentages as well. Uguay sitting at 98%, Lunar Storm at 99%, Saint Dane and Iron both fresh. Saint Dane trying to get those shots off on what I believe to be Iron Wolfpack. Nope. That was meant for Uguay right there. Now, those 4 AC-10s are going to hurt. The fact that they have 2 mechs boding 4 AC-10, just, you know, that's a punch. Oh, sorry. My bad. They're not both boding AC-10s. Eagles rocking 4 AC-5. Saint Dane here getting pummeled. Looks like. Ooh. We have the structure falling apart. Iron Wolfpack 75%. Lunar Storm here has lost their right arm, but that's not an issue. Right torso now open and orange. Saint Dane with an open CT. Uguay and Iron Wolfpack pushing out, trying to keep their momentum. Ooh. Lunar Storm losing half of that. Iron Wolfpack eliminating Saint Dane because Lunar Storm deleting Uguay. Lunar Storm has that left torso open, and it is gone. Very well fought by both sides there. Iron Wolfpack sitting there at the end with an open CT and open right torso. And now I'm just going to update the scorecard. Raptor Talons walking away with 1 kill, Declassified with both kills. Now, if we look at the damage, it looks like FJRD Declassified was a little bit more accurate with their shots, because Raptor Talons kind of did a little farming. Alrighty.
Hello.
Hello.
Apologies for the late arrival. I returned with supplies.
Haha. So it looks like my co-caster has shown up. How's it going?
I'm good. I had to help out some family members with some stuff, but I am back and ready to jump into Boreal Reef. I am sorry I missed Mech Factory. I think that's my favorite map of the duels.
Dude, it was sick. But first off, I didn't tell. I told the viewers that I might have a co-caster, but I didn't tell them who. So.
Oh, I'm Zane. I'm from 2D20, and I'm running Clan Sabergoose along with my Exo Jeff on a Buffalo.
Nice. But yeah, so Mech Factory. We saw FJRD Declassified bring Proto AC8s.
Told you they were good. Was it on a Huntsman?
No, it was on Vapor Eagle and Stone Rhino.
How many 8s can you fit on a Stone Rhino?
It was, man, what was the build? I think it was like two AC-20 and like 4 Proto AC-8s, something like that.
Because like you're getting into rack fire levels if you chain fire them at that point.
Oof. That can be nasty, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Team 1 is locked, and I'm just going to double check the scorecard, make sure.
Invites.
Oh, yes. Let me get that invite out to you, Zane. That's my bad.
One thing that I think with the Proto 8s that's not super talked about, and racks to a lesser degree, is the screen flash, especially if you hit near the cockpit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I used to run the Snowball, which is the Urban Mech 60L, I think.
Yeah, it was the loyalty reward from, or was it loyal?
It was the Christmas reward a couple years ago.
Yeah, Christmas, like 3-4 years ago.
But it has a rack rate of fire quirk.
Really?
Yeah. Put a rack 2 on it, and you feel like you're piloting the world's shittiest A10.
Oh, man. Alrighty. Over here on Team 1 side, that's the blue team. That's FJRD Declassified.
This is command.
We have Sponger in a Night Gear H loyalty variant with 4 AC5, 1 Proto AC4, and Butterporo in a Adder Warthog, 1 medium pulse laser, 14 AP Gauss.
And on the Raptor Talon side, we have Darling and Mechs in a Jenner 2CA with large lasers, and Iggy Mech Masher in a Night Gear C, running 3 AC-10s, 2 AP Gauss, and a plasma cannon.
Ooh. So
Bit of a kitchen sink build on that one.
A little bit. So it looks like Raptor Talon's throwing up UAVs. Very smart, but I mean, there's really only one direction that the enemy is going to come from, and it's directly in front of you.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of variants of the Warthog build. They're all 14 AP Gauss, or mostly 14 AP Gauss, but what the one energy point is has changed up. And we see the medium pulse laser on Butterporo.
Yeah, we've seen medium pulse lasers, flamers, small pulse, heavy, small. You know, there's a bunch of different stuff you can slot into that single energy hardpoint with the single slot. Ooh, looks like Darling in the mechs in that Jenner 2CA getting very beat up. Butterporo pushed out in front of Sponger. Sponger looking a little beat up. Darling in the mechs at 30% right now.
Sperlinger, though, has taken a lot of fire in that Night Gear.
Experiencing some losses. Don't get sloppy out there.
Ooh, Sponger's CT is open. So is his left torso. Iggy Mech Smasher getting shots off on Butterporo.
Yeah, he's got his right CT open. And there's half those heavy Gauss or those AP Gauss gone.
Yeah, but the rest of his mech is fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So although he's missing half his weapons, you know,
he's still like 12 points in pinpoint there.
Yeah.
Command to ground forces. We're detecting no more hostiles.
Well, 14.
Good job, soldiers.
7 times 2.
Yep. And FJRD with the cleanup. Nicely done.
Yeah, 2-0 win. Declassified. And let me go ahead and update that scorecard. Alrighty. Looking at the damage numbers, looks like both teams did roughly the same amount of damage. You know, FJRD Declassified dropping just a little bit more damage.
475 out of that adder, though.
Yeah. It's just it's crazy how much damage those little guys can pump out simply because of um the number of ballistic hard points.
I mean, you vote 14 of anything, it's probably going to be good.
Yep. I'll agree to that.
But the thing is that even though the Warthog doesn't have a specific quirk for it, the amount of cooldown you can get, like, it's only a couple second cooldown on the AP Gauss.
Yeah, it's only what, 2 seconds?
2.2, I think, with skills.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
It's very fast. All right, so we're moving into the Hellbore drops. Historically, we've seen, well, Vipers for drop 2. I think that's where you want to be, honestly.
Vipers. Now, what do you think? What would you consider a good counter pick to Vipers?
I mean, the short answer is at 200 tons, we haven't found one. Our solution is just our counter pick is hopefully to be better Viper pilots.
Yeah.
In a heavier tonnage, the counter pick I would want for Vipers is slow brawl.
Okay.
At least in our experience at 2D20, fast brawl tends to lose to slow brawl. Because fundamentally, both those decks want to do the same sort of fighting, and slow brawl is better at it because they're spending less tonnage on engines and more tonnage on armor and weapons.
You know, that's a fair analysis.
Now, can you do slow brawl at 200 tons? Maybe.
I mean, I think you kind of split the difference. Maybe you bring like 2 Orions and then three piranhas or something.
Yeah, or maybe you bring like ice ferrets.
Oh, ice ferrets! Those things are tanky.
Yeah. Both teams are locked up as we head into drop 2.
Yeah, you know, honestly,
like 4 ice ferrets and a piranha or a 30 tonner.
Honestly, bringing the loyalty ice ferret with the mask,
Yeah.
that could be a play.
The what is it? The rainbow crow?
No. Not the rainbow crow. The loyalty. Because the rainbow crow is the hero.
Oh, the J.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you run the like just laser vomit.
Yeah. Just small lasers.
Yeah. So, if for whatever reason none of my pilots owned Vipers, that would be what I would try.
Because you have the mask, so you have speed, right?
You're able to close the gap and get into those sort of knife fights where the extra agility on the Viper isn't as important.
Yeah. Though I guess on this map, having jump jets is kind of paramount for getting around the jungle gyms.
Oh, very much so.
You know, so
the other option might be hunchies.
Squishy.
Yeah, and that's the problem is that the clans don't, at 40 tons at least, and 45, don't have a ton of incredibly tanky mechs. Like we've got the Arctic Wolf, which has a similar problem to the Ice Ferret for the lack of JJs, or less good JJs. And then you've got the Shadow Cat.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Anywho,
Speaking
I'm on red side.
Shadow Cats.
Apparently they could hear us because FJRD is running 3 of them. Oh, map.
My bad. I forgot to switch the game mode.
Now we'll see how efficient these teams are at offing themselves.
Well, one team does have to cap a
25%
point.
of the enemies are
Or,
eliminated.
wait, no, they can't cap a point because there is no point. Yeah, they
Yeah.
gotta kill themselves. Oh my goodness.
So
Our
we'll
spirit
hold
thinks
off on
watch
commenting
it.
on the
Don't
builds,
get sloppy out there.
just in case, because teams are allowed to change up the mech builds, if I'm reading the rules correctly.
They are. They are allowed to switch up their drop decks in a
The
region.
enemies are half depleted. Keep pushing.
I feel somewhat responsible for the distraction on that.
I mean,
Clean up the survivors.
Darling in the mech's getting stuck on the side here.
We've lost half our force. We can't lose any more soldiers.
If he impacts the
We've
ground,
taken critical
that's
losses.
legs
We
gone.
need you to pull through.
Nope. And just a little bit of damage.
Command to ground forces. We're detecting no more hostiles. Good job, soldiers.
That's my bad. It should be like just
Hashtag, at least it wasn't radio called.
yeah. You know, it could be worse. I mean, I guess if it was radiocast, that would actually kind of be better.
So I have feelings about the radiocast because as a Canadian, I grew up listening to hockey play-by-play on the radio.
Okay.
And that was a very compelling way to watch to experience a hockey game. If you've never done it, absolutely find out what your local hockey team's like talk radio channel is and listen to one of the games on a radio. Like, go buy a shitty clock radio that'll wake you up far too early and use it just to listen to the hockey game at least once.
Hey man, I have 2 of those, okay? I got 2 shitty clock radios. One of them has the little tape deck. You know, it's from the 80s.
So you can run custom. You can have custom annoying messages waking you up in the morning.
Yes. I love it.
My point is, there is a certain art to shoutcasting a game such that it can be experienced by somebody who can't see what's going on. I don't think MWO lends itself well to that because of the maps.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back in game.
It's you know, it's a little bit of a struggle, you know, trying to explain everything that's going on efficiently.
Well, like the big thing with hockey is that there's a fairly limited amount of places you can be.
Yeah, you know, 4 corners of the ice rink and then the center.
Yeah, but you also have like, you know, deep in the defensive end, middle of the ice, offensive end, etc., right?
Yep.
Can't really shorthand. I guess we could say they're fighting around Hamburger Hill.
Yeah.
All right. Teams are dropping back in.
So sorry, everybody.
The same drops. So FJRD with AP Goss Shadowcats, a Mislinks, and a Scale Shot Viper.
Nice. So you said those Shadowcats are AP Goss?
Yeah. They're AC-10 and 6 AP Goss.
Nice. Raptor Talons opting to bring Novas and Mislinkses. Those Novas have 4 heavy machine guns, 12 micro pulse, and the Mislinks is your typical machine gun Mislinks. 8 heavy machine guns, 4 yard micro. Actually,
the Nova was actually going to be the other mech that I was going to bring up as the what do you bring if you can't bring Vapor Eagles.
Vipers?
Because I had forgotten about it.
If you can't bring Vipers, yeah, no, the Nova, you know, those you can fit just so much on them. You know, those arms can each fit like I think it is 6 energy hard points each, something like that.
Yeah, in terms of doing sort of small weapon vomit builds or boat builds, I guess. Incidentally, as an aside, calling a build that has like a million small guns a boating always kind of annoyed me because warships don't do that anymore. They tend to have like, well, back when guns mattered on warships, they tended to have like a small number of big guns tended to be better.
Yep. So it looks like Raptor Talons opted to go for the tree hill.
Exactly where I was sort of expecting last match, and then the teams were very rude and completely ignored it. But now we'll see that sort of how dangerous that sort of mid ground can be when Raptor Talons goes for the push.
Yeah, it looks like Raptor Talons is gonna send their Novas up towards the route that Declassified took to get up towards Sigma. But
The Nova Squad is pushing right up. They're hoping to catch FJRD unawares.
we'll see if who is that? Alpha Strike? Yeah, Alpha Strike. We'll see if Alpha Strike scouts the Nova push. He does. So FJRD Declassified does know that the Novas are coming.
Eats an arty strike for it though. But those Shadowcats will be able to disengage very, very well.
Oh yeah.
As they retreat back towards the point here.
Now it looks like FJRD is sending it on Darling in the Mex's missiles. And those Novas are now in range to start doing their damage.
Yep. Iron Wolf Pack is the target of choice.
Very smart call.
Oh, they've disengaged. Looks like they're... Nope, still on Iron Wolf Pack.
Saint
Dane is a cut.
Iron Wolf Pack goes down.
St. Dane selling his Nova dearly as Uguay seems to be the call target for Raptor.
We got mechs flying everywhere.
Uguay eats a leg, and down he goes.
Down. Crazy Motorbiker is the next target called for FJRD. Down he goes.
Spore Gunner is the target. Oh, sorry, Alpha Strike.
Alpha Strike goes down very quickly. It is now a 3v2 in Raptor Talon's favor. Never mind, make that a 3v1.
Soul Runner has his work cut out for him. She's going to try to 1v3 this.
Sponger in that Ebon Dragoon. So that's SRMs. Very nice. And down goes Sponger. That's going to be a Raptor Talon win here. Drop 2 against FJRD Declassified.
I do want to just call out or highlight, Darling Max was really, really smart about the squirreling at the start of that fight to keep the Novas from taking too much damage on their run in. And then they were able to disengage only to re-engage once they had sort of worn off the called target. It's a really, really good play there for Light Mech. Yep. Honestly, you could do worse than just creeping this guy and watching all his comp games if you want to learn how to play lights.
Lunar Storm just trying to burn off some ammo. Is he trying to cook himself? I can't tell.
Can you imagine if Mech Warrior had some version of the rocket equation, where as you lost ammo, your mech started to run faster?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, if Mech Warrior had, you know, speed increase for the ammo you've consumed, because you know you're shedding that tonnage.
Yeah, or like, are there builds that you would intentionally drop underweight so that you could run faster?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I know that I would drop my spider, my spider underweight if that meant I could run faster. It's like, can you imagine a spider going, you know, 172?
If they give me the fire ant, sure. Give me the 15-tonner. Anyway, Raptor Talons recovering from a kind of a rough start in the duels, it looks like.
Oh yeah. But you know what? The score is pretty even right now. 8 for FJRD Declassified, 7 for Raptor Talons.
As near as we can, I haven't looked into the exact of the scores, but I'm willing to bet that's as close to all tied up as we could get going into drop 3.
I believe so.
Which honestly is where we want to be going into drop 3.
Oh yeah. Makes it more interesting.
Oh yeah. So I think in my limited scrim and comp experience in this tournament, drop 3 might actually be my sweet spot for tonnage. Because I think at 275, I'll check that that's the right amount.
It should be.
Yeah, 275. It's just heavy enough that there's a fairly wide variety of strategies that work.
How much do summoners weigh?
I'm going to look that up for you because I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's either 55 or 70.
Summoners are 70 tons. They're heavies.
Ooh.
But
I guess you could bring like 3 summoners, right? So that's 210, and you have 65 tons left over.
I mean, that's an incubus and a 35 tonner.
Yeah.
But I think like 275, 300 tons is sort of the sweet spot where speed brawl and slow brawl are still possible, but there's enough tonnage that range works. And I think when you hit like 400 tons, you're either playing ranged or you're playing against ranged very intentionally, right?
Yep.
And sure, you can run like spirit bears and gargoyles or whatever and try to make fast brawl work, but that's not really going to work. But at 300, there's a lot of spicy meatballs to be found. And we have some prep that I'm not going to spoil here.
Oh.
Hopefully Ivor appreciates them, because I believe he's penciled in to cast my match of this week.
Who's your opponent?
Good question.
Alrighty, let's get into drop 3 here. Both teams are locked. Yeah. Hellbore, take 2.
We are playing Historic Hook Swords.
Ah.
Which, incidentally, very sword and bird themed in Div H.
Is 69th Falcon Irregulars in your div as well?
They were, and then they got rotated out to do a shuffle.
Ooh.
But we have Raven Irregulars, QFES Ravagel, Metal Gear Squadron, Historic Hook Swords, and Clan Sabers.
Gotcha. Yeah, very, very sword and bird.
I also do want to, as I have done in the banter chat before, compliment all the teams at stepping up their logo game this year. As I sit here on blue side waiting for the load in.
I'm on blue side.
Okay, as I jet over to red side.
Sorry.
Look, I have the zoomy button bound to a shoulder button for a reason.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I decided that for casting specifically, to get those smooth pans, you really want the gamepad controller rather than the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through and actually bound the various like mech select buttons to the face buttons of the controller that I'm using. I can go up and down on the camera with the trigger buttons.
Oh, okay. That's smart. Over here on the blue side, that's FJRD Declassified. We have 3 Vipers, a Timberwolf Howl, and a Gargoyle Prime. Those Vipers are running what looks to be heavy machine guns, and heavy machine guns.
So Raptor Talons is apparently reading your mind because they're running triple summoners. The Summoner B with SRMs. They have a Viper running the standard Viper build and a Mislinks G running the sort of standard Mislinks build. So
Nice.
the exact deck that you just called.
Yes.
But a very, very brawling, very, very brawly deck coming out of Raptor Talons.
Oh yeah. Archon in the Gargoyle Prime with 13 ER micros, 2 beam lasers, and the Howl, 2 LB20s, 3 SRM6. And it looks like Raptor Talons.
Sorry, did you say the Howl?
Yes, the Howl.
Timby
Howl. Looks like Raptor Talons setting up for the same maneuver that they did last drop. St. Day and Ikaza jump scouting, throwing down an airstrike that lands perfectly on Sponger, the Timberwolf Howl,
We've captured
doing
resource
some
point Sigma.
good back damage.
See, the Timberwolf is sort of emblematic of why I think 275 is the best drop. Because on the heavier drops, that mech is just way too squishy to be used.
That's
But
fair.
here it can shine. We hope.
We hope.
Spudgenner, you better not let me down. I'm believing in you.
I don't know. I think it kind of depends on if those Summoner Bees get a little too close for comfort. Archon with those beam lasers trying to open up some components on the Summoner Bees as they close the distance.
Yeah, it's Crazy Mountain Biker and Lernstrom who are pushing up with Gasboy bringing up the rear and those Summoner Bees.
We have St. Dane Ikaza in the Mislinks G trying to squirrel the Vipers. In comes Lunar Storm and Gasboy.
See, what happened is Crazy Mountain Biker tried to make the jump, but just didn't quite make it to follow Iggy Mech Smasher up the hill. And the Summoner goes down, but it looks like Archon Ent in the Gargoyle is the called target from Raptor Town. And down he goes.
Lunar Storm goes down.
And it looks like Crazy Mountain Biker is the call target for FJRD, and down he... Oh, no, he picks up Spudgenner.
Sponger goes down in that Timberwolf Howl. Very sad.
Yeah. So 3v3 now. 2v3. Crazy Mountain Biker going down to the Viper. And it's just, this is just a messy knife fight. You'll love to see it.
Look at all those HMGs going off. Iggy Mech Smasher being chased by Alpha Strike. Iron Wolfpack shifting targets to focus on St. Dane Ikaza to help out Butter Poro.
Yeah.
Down goes St. Dane.
And will Iggy be able to pick up Butter Paro for the points?
You know, Butter Poro, yep, he goes down.
We've
And down
gathered
goes
enough
Iggy.
resources. This triumph will
That's gonna
provide
be a
us huge
declassified
tactical
win.
benefits.
Iron Wolfpack securing 4 out of 5 of the kills.
Yeah. I mean, the Viper F, just... The machine guns on that thing can put out so much damage.
Oh yeah.
Now we move into the checks tonnage. 375 ton drop. This is probably my second favorite because, again, it's really close to what I think the sweet point tonnage is for 5v5. Incidentally, can we just say that Mr. Bear, when he was writing this tournament, he has nailed the clan flavor with this tournament. So not only is it 5v5, which is a star, which is the clan's sort of like answer to the Lance, which is 4 max, a star is 5 max, and that's their sort of unit of organization. But it's based on kills for scoring more than it's based on points. Because the clans care more about honor and killing the other guy than they care about their tactical objectives sometimes. So just really nicely done, Mr. Bear, in organizing this and nailing the clanner flavor.
Score leading into drop 4. FJRD Declassified with 14 points and Raptor Talons with 10 points.
This is still anybody's batch-all. Did I pronounce that right? Is it Bacall?
No, it's batch all.
Still anybody's batch-all.
Or is it Batchow?
I feel like it's however you yell it enthusiastically. Like, it's less the pronunciation and more the heart you put into the pronunciation, you know?
Okay. I can get behind that. Just go outside with a megaphone and yell into it. See if anybody, comes to fight you.
I could go do that at the PGI office if I wanted to.
Do you live next to
I live in the same city.
Ah.
So PGI is based out of Vancouver, as am I.
Oh, well, go issue them a batch all.
Just think, if they invite 2D20 to any sort of Worlds event, if they decide to host it, they could save on airfare for at least one person.
They should just invite you in to, give you a sneak peek at clans.
No, I think I'd have to be in the cauldron for that. No, I'm just a starting out novice caster.
But what about community engagement? Come on.
Look, I could be the Travis Gafford of MWO. I'm kind of bad at interviews. So, Caustic Valley.
What about it?
So aside from we talked last game about the configs, but I just want to assume that players aren't playing with them for a moment here, because I actually really like the idea of cover that only works if your opponent doesn't know you're behind it.
Yes.
Like, as a concept, I think that's really interesting. But I do think that the range trading game we saw last time kind of threw the basically over top of the Theta Point, with Team 1 side set up along the Echo 3, Fox 4 area. Oh, and we are locked up. But my point is that I think even at the 375 tonnage, we're going to see more range trade, or more of that sort of hybrid range trade DACA like we saw last match.
Mm-hmm. More than likely, it is a big map. It does tend to lend itself towards the range trade. And I'm going to zoom off over to the south side for the Team 1 drops. But yeah, no, speaking of, cover where, like, I don't know, I really enjoy the feeling and the look of having these little ambient sight occlusions, right? Mm-hmm. Just stuff that blocks your line of sight, makes it a little bit more difficult to see the enemy and get clean shots.
It almost makes me wish that, like, smoke rounds were a thing.
Oh, yes, please.
And just to answer a question from the chat from Poopas, it is basically domination. Both teams, there's only one valid cap allowed.
It looks like there's been a hold call.
In which case, I will talk more about the format while we wait for the hold. On this particular map, the only valid point that the teams can fight over is Theta.
Command coming in.
If teams
Capture
take
all the
any other cap
Stop
point,
any hostiles that get in your way.
basically, if somebody screws up and takes the wrong point, you have to kill all 5 of Op 4. And while we wait, let's talk about FJRD's builds. They've got a Mad Cat Bravo running. Everybody's being very polite. 2 ER PPCs and 4 AC5s. They've got a Marauder 2C, the Legendary, running 2 Gauss and 3 ER Larges. They've got a Ice Ferret J and a Black Lanner D as their scouting force, and then an Executioner A running.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
2 beam lasers, 8 micropulse, and 6 small pulse.
Nice. Over here on Raptor Talon side, that's the team 1, that's blue team. We got 3 Mad Cat Bravos, a Mistlings G, and a Sunspider D. These Mad Cats are rocking UAC 5s, UAC 10s, so typical DACA builds. Sunspider D rocking, what is that? 4 Ultra AC2s, and the Mistlings is way off in the distance. I'm hesitant on going all the way out here.
I got him.
What's he rocking?
He is rocking 8 heavy machine guns and 4 ER micro. And I did double check the light pack, such as it is from FJRD, is running laser on it, mix of smalls and micros.
Gotcha. So it looks like Alpha Strike over here getting shots off on St. Dane Ikusa towards the center. St. Dane.
Yeah, those
being
Mad
the
Cats are
focus
not
fire.
as tanky as you would think.
No. Crazy Motorbiker getting a little wrecked here. Down goes St. Dane.
Yeah.
Crazy Motorbiker CT is open. Down goes Gas Boy. Oogway laying some lasers down on Lunar Storm. Down goes Crazy Motorbiker. Is FJRD gonna get the 5 kill clean sweep here? Iron Wolfpack with the beam lasers on Lunar Storm.
They can focus up on Iron Wolfpack. It's possible they can take him down.
Lunar
I think
Storm
Zoe and the Max
is
is going to
down.
make a valiant last stand. Yeah, loses the leg and loses the mech.
The enemy has captured
Beautiful
enough
sweep from
resources.
FJRD there.
We've failed.
Very nicely done. You know, it looks like a mixed bag drop deck, and it worked out.
I don't know that I would call this a mixed bag.
Well, just in the variance of mechs brought.
Yeah, like to me, this looks like a very clear range score with a wolf pack, which is not something you normally see in 5v5, mind you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's FJRD. If they didn't bring a wolf pack, I'd be disappointed. So we're swapping for the final time, and we're on to the 450. Yes, 450 ton drop. Where I expect to see 400 tonners and a 50 tonner. Whether it's Direwolves, Kodiaks, I don't know, but that's what I'm expecting.
Probably Stone Rhinos.
Hmm.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but Stone Rhino has more armor than a Direwolf.
I believe it is, in a lot of respects, a better dire whale, yes. It doesn't have the JJs, though. It has no jumpies.
I thought the Koloss had jumpies.
Except for the Koloss, it has no uppies.
That's fine. Just bring, 4 Koloss.
One mech that I think is a bit of a dark horse pick is actually the Rancor here.
Oh, Okay.
with those beautiful high mounts on the Blood Asp. I don't know if it has to be the Rancor core necessarily, because the Blood Asp is an Omnivac. But you can put energy pods in the right and left torso of the Rancor, and you get those big, like, over-shoulder cannon mounts.
Yeah, I think you're actually gonna want to bring a Blood Ast. I think it's the Bravo variant. One of the side torsos has like 3 energy hard points, something like that.
Mhm.
So you get more high mounted energy.
Yeah. But there is, within the Rancor build, there is a variant, because most people run 6 ER larges on it. But we saw last week, if you remember, teams running ER PPCs and using their little uppies using them as a Pop-Tart almost.
I do remember that on
Uh,
Hamburger Hill.
yeah. So it's a bit of an anemic Pop-Tart, because you don't have all that many JJs that you can use, and you can't equip more because it's an Omnimac. But it is a possibility. And if you run the full Rancor set of 8, you get a very nice range bonus, which is not something you normally care about when you're looking at Omnimacs.
Nope. Because you can usually pick up the range quirks from other omnipods.
From your skill nodes, from the other Omnipods. And it's very, very rare that running a better Omnipod, like, it's very rare for the whatever the set of 8 quirk to be better than just running a better Omnipod.
Yep.
Whether it's for mounts or for hard points or what.
I know with the Kit Fox, you can get some insane omnipod quirks rolling on that thing.
Mhm.
Especially for lasers. You can get laser duration, range, cooldown, heat.
But yeah, for those that may not know, on top of Omnipods giving you different hard points and some of them having very different stats, they also have different inbuilt quirks on top of the set of 8. Omnipods, for when you played too much Lego as a kid.
Very, very true. All right, without looking at mechs, what do you think they're bringing?
4 Spirit Bears and a fast 50 tonner. No. Serious answer is I expect FJRD to bring a blend of Stone Rhinos and Kodiak 3s.
Let's see. We got Stone Rhinos and a Shadow Cat.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the
We got
resources.
4 Stone Rhino 1s and a Shadow Cat B. But there has been a hold call, so I'm gonna go ahead and look through these.
We have a go at 345. And Raptor Talons is running 3 Executioners, or 4 Executioners, and a Summoner. Now, the Executioners are all running different builds, because they're all different variants. Notably, we have Darling in the Mechs in the Hero Executioner. Running 2 large pulse and 10 micros. We have Crazy Mountain Biker in the Executioner M, running 2 large pulse and 10 micros. Saint Day and Izuka running 2 large pulse and 10 micros. Are you guys just going to make me look like an idiot for saying you're running different builds? Yeah, they're all running 2 large pulse and micro lasers.
Now, FJRD Stone Rhinos, there's 2 variants here. We got AC-10s and plasma cannons, and then AC-10s and ER peeps.
Oh, and then, of course, 8 CERM 4s on Lundstrom, or Lunarstorm. I've been calling him Lernstrom the whole time. It's Lunarstorm.
Lunarstorm.
In the Summoner Beam. So a very fast brawl deck coming out of Raptor Talons.
Yeah, it looks like they're pushing straight towards the FJRD spawn. Kind of setting up in the low ground near the factory. right? Is that where the factory is? No, I'm on the
No,
wrong
factory is
side
the
of
team
map.
1 side.
Yeah, no, they're over by the lake. So yeah, they were hoping to get a flanking maneuver. Meanwhile, FJRD is hiding behind a ridge.
But Raptor Talons has a very rough push ahead of them if they decide to push through Theta here. Like, that's probably a kilometer of open ground where you've got 4 stone rhinos staring at you.
Yeah. Alpha Strike's,
Whether it's a turkey shoot or an emu shoot remains to be seen.
Theta is controlled by
Alpha
the
Strike
enemy.
with those beam lasers, just letting them, just laying it down, honestly. Strike out on FJRD declassified stun rhinos.
I'll be honest. So a single RD strike, if you're in a stone rhino, do you even care?
No. No, you don't care.
Honestly, the only thing that Raptor Talons is going from them is they don't actually have to push. They have the point.
That is true. Strike
Like,
out on
FJRD
Archon.
does have to push into them. As Iron Wolfpack is, well, deciding to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like he's making the push. But he has the rest of the stone rhinos up on the hill to provide covering fire if needed.
And the thing is, I'm not as I don't think this is as bad of a call as you would expect, because those stone rhinos aren't the ER large variants. They've got AC-10s.
Ooh, Darling in the mech's about to get a side shot here on Iron Wolfpack.
This crazy mountain biker gets focused down very, very quickly from the firepower of those stone rhinos.
Iggy Mech Smasher, next target called, goes down. Iron Wolfpack being the focus fire right now. Alpha Strike team killing Iron Wolfpack accidentally. Or at least what I assume to be accidentally.
Yeah, firing at Lunar Storm would be my guess. But Lunar Storm goes down. St. Dane Issachar is probably the next one to go down to Alpha Strike.
Yep. And
Throwing in the mechs
is the last and final target called. Last mech final target.
Yeah. But again, FJRD taking more mid-range, sort of more of a DACA Stone Rhino than the pure range ER large Rhino.
And that's going to be a 5-1 win, drop 5 for FJRD Declassified here.
As soon as they spread out and get the various caps.
Yes. I was surprised with the stone rhinos on that. You know, the AC-10s, like
Again, I think FJRD said we want to do mid-range DACA, not range trading.
Yeah, and it worked out for them.
Resource point Theta is ours.
So, at least internally, we have this idea of like DACA, if you're playing comp, is kind of the jack of all trades deck, because you can brawl with it, you can range trade with it, you can kind of do everything. You just can't necessarily do everything as well as a dedicated deck.
Yep.
And when I see 4 Stone Rhinos running AC-10s, I think immediately, okay, FJRD is going to go, if you're range trading, we're going to push up to 500 meters and kill you with AC-10s.
Resource point Sigma.
If you're speed brawling, we're going to wait for you to push into us and kill you with AC-10s.
Alrighty. Let's get this recorded. Paste that code. It's gonna be 1 point for Raptor Talon, 5 points for FJRD Declassified with the win. Alrighty.
And what's that bring our final total to, points-wise?
Points-wise, final score. FJRD Declassified with 26 points, and Raptor Talon with 11.
So there was a spot of hope there for Raptor Talons in drop 2, drop 3, but FJRD came back to get the points in drop 4, 5. Once again, we'd just like to say thank you to the MWO comp team for organizing. Thank you to Mr. Bear for coming up with it. Thank you, Luscious, for casting.
Of course.
And thank you to chat for showing up and watching.
Thank you so much, Zane, for coming out, co-casting these matches with me tonight. For those of you who are, EU or AP time zone, Mocor will be streaming or casting a match. It'll be Clan Crossfire versus FJRD Rangers at 11 UTC, 11 in the morning UTC. So, that'll be 4 in the morning for Pacific time zone, 7 in the morning for Eastern. And if you're anywhere else, I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion for you.
But, when I wake up or don't sleep because insomnia is fun, maybe I just want to watch some quality EU casts here on MechWarrior Comp.
Yeah.
Or MWO Leagues.
Yeah, that'll be on MWO Leagues 2.
For those of you who don't know, there's in fact 3 MWO Leagues channels, so we can simulcast all of the mech action.
Technically,
assuming we get
5.
enough casters, which, we're getting there.
Technically, there's 5.
They go up to 5. That's ambitious.
Sorry, no, 4. So you got MWO Leagues. You got MWO Leagues 2, 3, and 4. 4 had to be added in during, I think, ISC for this year. Just because we did have so many shoutcasters wanting to do casts on MWO League's channels, but not enough channels. So Liveish added a new one.
Well, hopefully we can get to maybe we can get enough people that we need 5. Should be our goal.
It's always the goal.
Yeah.
Honestly,
but thank you again, chat, for coming out and watching.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, supporting these teams, supporting us, your shoutcasters, supporting MWO Comp. If you want to learn more about Comp in general, go ahead and swing on by the MWO Comp Discord. If you're looking for tips, tricks, or just want to get better at the game, swing by MWO Comp Discord. It's a great place, a lot of good resources, a lot of people who just want to help you get better.
Link is in the title cards underneath the stream.
Alrighty. With that, this stream is going to end. So, yeah. Keep it luscious.
Peace.